What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another reaction. Today we got banking, explain money and credit. This is from Kurz. Let's jump straight into this one, man.
The international banking system is an enigma. There are more than 30,000 different banks worldwide, and they hold unbelievable amounts of assets.
There's a lot.
The top 10 banks alone
and they have all our money.
Roughly 25 trillion
Holy
US
shit.
dollars. Today, banking can seem very complex, but originally, the idea was to make life simpler.
Yeah, pretty much. Take our money, store our money, don't give us back our money. Well, if you have a lot of money, that is.
11th century Italy was the center of European trading. Merchants from all over the continent met to trade their goods.
You know what? How weird is like banking to begin with, right? Someone just thought, you know what? Let me take people's money and keep it safe for them, right?
But there was one problem.
How did people trust that?
Too many currencies in circulation. In Pisa, merchants had to deal with 7 different types of coins and had to exchange their money
exchanging,
constantly.
right, was the main...
This exchange business, which commonly took place outdoors on benches, is where we get the word bank from the word banco, Italian for bench. The dangers of traveling, counterfeit money, and the difficulty of getting a loan got people thinking.
Right.
It was time for a new business model. Pawnbrokers started to give credit to businessmen, while Genoese merchants developed cashless payments. Networks of banks spread all over Europe, handing out credit even to the church or European kings.
Right.
What about today? In a nutshell, banks are in the risk management business. This is a simplified version of the way it works. People keep their money in banks and receive a small amount of interest. The bank takes this money and lends it out at much higher interest rates. It's a calculated risk because some of the lenders will default on their credit. This process is essential for our economic system because...
What if it just all went wrong? Like, I know it's very, like, unlikely. But, like, what if it just... The banks had no money, they just went broke, you know what I mean? I'm pretty sure that's happened before, right? And what actually happened with people's money then?
Provides resources for people to buy things like houses or for industry to expand their businesses and grow. So banks take funds that are unused by savers and turn them into funds society can use to do stuff. Other sources of income for banks include accepting saving deposits, the credit card business, buying and selling currencies, custodian business, and cash management services. The main problem with banks nowadays...
Bro, I can't stop thinking about it now. I'm like thinking, bro, like, you know, if you ever get to a point where you have a lot of money, right? One, it's probably good if you have different banks in different countries, have your money stashed all, like, everywhere. I'm thinking, like, even on a small scale, just like, even just have it in PayPal, maybe in a little bit of crypto, maybe a little bit, just dabble it everywhere. Because, like, what if the unlikely case... Like, you guys would tell me in the comments how likely it could be. But what if the bank's just fucking, like, just like, something went wrong? Your money's pretty much gone, isn't it? Like,
a lot of them have abandoned their traditional role as providers of long-term financial products in favor of short-term gains that carry much higher risks. During the financial boom,
very unlikely.
Most major banks adopted financial constructs that were barely comprehensible and did their own trading in a bid to make fast money and earn their executives and traders millions in bonuses.
Right.
This was nothing short of gambling and damaged whole economies and societies. Like back in 2008, when banks like Lehman Brothers gave credit to basically anyone who wanted to buy a house and thereby put the bank in an extremely dangerous risk position. This led to the collapse of the housing market in the US and parts of Europe, causing stock prices to plummet, which eventually led to a global banking crisis and one of the largest financial crises in history.
Wait, so what happened in that situation? Was people not able to get their money back? Like, what happens with people's money that they had in the bank that they just couldn't pay out?
Hundreds of billions of dollars just evaporated.
Wow.
Millions of people lost their jobs and lots of money. Most of the world's major banks had to pay billions in fines, and bankers became some of the least trusted professionals. The US government and the European Union had to put together huge bailout packages to purchase bad assets and stop the banks from going bankrupt. New regulations were put into force to govern the banking business. Compulsory bank emergency funds were enforced to absorb shocks in the event of another financial crisis.
Yo, you know it's bad when the banks are going bankrupt, man. But yeah, it is very, especially after this case now, it's very, very, very unlikely. But still, like, what if, bro?
But other pieces of tough new legislation were successfully blocked by the banking lobby. Today, other models of providing financing are gaining ground fast. like new investment banks that charge a yearly fee and do not get commissions on sales, thus providing the motivation to act in the best interests of their clients.
Right,
Credit
that's good.
unions,
That's good.
cooperative initiatives that were established in the 19th century to circumvent credit sharks. In a nutshell, they provide the same financial services as banks, but focus on shared value rather than profit maximization. The self-proclaimed goal is to help members create opportunities like starting small businesses, expanding farms, or building family homes while investing back into communities. They are controlled by their members, who also elect the board of directors democratically. Worldwide, credit union systems vary significantly.
Oh my god, Illuminati confirmed. What the fuck?
Ranging from a handful of members to organizations worth several billion US and hundreds of thousands of members. The focus on benefits for their members impacts the risk credit unions are willing to take, which explains why credit unions, although also hurting, survived the last financial crisis way better than traditional banks.
Of course.
Not to forget the explosion of crowdfunding in recent years. Aside from making awesome video games possible, platforms arose that enable people to get loans from large groups of small investors, circumventing the bank as a middleman. But it also works for industry. Lots of new technology companies started out on Kickstarter or Indiegogo. The funding individual gets the satisfaction of being part of a bigger thing and can invest in ideas they believe in, while spreading the risk so
Wait, what is this to do with banking?
widely that if the project fails, the damage is limited. And last but not least, microcredit.
Was that just like a little bit of juicy, like just juicy little money thing in there? Like,
Lots of very small loans, mostly handed out in developing countries that help people escape poverty. People who were previously unable to get access to the money they needed to start a business because they weren't deemed worth the time.
Wow.
Nowadays, the granting of microcredits has evolved into a multi-billion-dollar business. So banking might not be up your street, but the bank's role of providing funds to people and businesses is crucial for our society and has to be done. Who will do it and how it will be done in the future is up for us to decide.
It's actually scary. We all just think and assume that our money's safe with the banks, right? But like back in 2008, holy fuck, if something like that happened again and your money's gone, let's say, for example, I'm saving up for a house, right? I have 100 grand or whatever I need for the deposit and the extra bit of cash. Let's just say all that savings, all of a sudden 2008 happens again. Boom, can't access the money. Boom, don't know what's gonna happen. Bro, that's scary, man. That's actually fucking scary. But, you know, it's very unlikely now, especially after that you know, 2008 happened. Very unlikely. But really good video from Kurzgesagt again. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. If you did, make sure you guys leave a thumbs up, subscribe. We're getting super close to YouTube partners, so anyone that can subscribe to the channel, it really means a lot. And I'll see you all in the next video.